2015, so it has been quite a minute. Matter of fact, I started stocks first, which was August of 2015. And then October of 2015 was whenever I discovered Bitcoin and, of course, Litecoin and all of them other tokens. So I started doing crypto since then, but it wasn't really like a technical analysis basis. It was just buying off Coinbase, buying off, little markets and stuff like that. And then just buying and holding. It wasn't until I want to say 2017 where I really, it was like 26. No, yeah, it was 2017 where I really started going a little deeper into it. Cause I remember I started doing Tron around that area. I think they had like their private ICO or something like that around that 2017, 2018 area. And that's whenever I started getting into Tron dApps, more experience, getting my feet wet, investing into platforms like that, losing a lot of money. And then after losing thousands of dollars, I had to sit my butt down and be like, hey, I need to start looking into what my actual funds are going into. So that's whenever I sat down, I was like, I need to start learning some stuff. So Google, YouTube, investing $200, losing $200 in 2 minutes and learning from my mistakes. So it's been a crazy ride, man. I'm not going to lie. And then eventually I started doing little bits of YouTube videos in 2018. Just Tron YouTube videos. And in 2020, during COVID, once I had a few years of experience in my head, that's whenever I started doing a video every single day, because why not? It was COVID. Everybody was home. Everybody needed content. More odds of growing your channel was in that COVID time. So that's whenever I started doing a video every single day, whether it was a new platform, a new meme coin, a new YouTube video of promoting a something. I just stay committed making one YouTube video every day, and I've been pretty consistent with it. Of course, life happens. Sometimes you can't make it, but for the most part, 90% of the time, I've stayed consistent making one YouTube video every day. Whenever it comes to Titanx now, I was making Zen YouTube videos, and out of nowhere, man, my comment section got taken over by Titanx. Yeah, it was just, yo, bro, stop making Zen. Come on over to Titanx. Do your research on this. Make a YouTube video. What do you think? Review it, so on and so forth. And I saw it multiple times, and I was like, I'm going to sit on the sidelines and see what it does first. So whenever it comes to day one minting, I didn't get in. I didn't get in until day 4 of minting, because I wanted to see how well it does. And I remember there was this little FUD going on. I think it was the buy and burn wasn't working. I think it was something, and throughout that first few days, something went on. I can't remember exactly what it was. And so it took me a while to get to it, but eventually I was like, okay, I think I see potential in this. I see what the members are going crazy over. So I'm going to start making little bits of YouTube videos. Slowly but surely, it took over the channel. The whole entire community members started flooding, coming along. Then Twitter started exploding. And I was like, well, I guess I'm the Titanx guy now.
Yeah. I mean, how different was it from when you were recording with Zen? Because I've never been invested in Zen, but the community for that is quite strong as well. How much of a difference has it been with Titanx?
To be honest with you, it's the Titanx community is a lot more engagement wise than Zen. I 1000% think that there's a whole lot more comments, shares, tweets, of course, the hashtags. Everything's pretty much bigger.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I 100% agree. On Twitter, all the green circles, everyone going crazy. It's like, it's all self-promotion, and it's going so well. Everyone's just happy to be here because everyone's happy to be pumping their own bags and talking about it, because I think no one's getting paid for it, obviously, but everyone is just that enthusiastic about Titanx and about what's going on. So it must be so good as a content creator, having that kind of refresh of people that are really excited and showing a lot of support. Can we just go back quickly to 2015 when you said you first got in? Did you get into Bitcoin back then, or did you ever?
Bitcoin that I remember buying was 900, I think. $1,000, somewhere around there.
No. Yeah.
Yeah. Matter of fact, I
Wow.
got the house thanks to that too.
Really?
Yeah, like,
What?
yeah, for real, it's freaking nice, man. I've been truly blessed with all that. I can't remember the exact price. I remember seeing it at 900 and something change around that time. Man, Ethereum was cheap. Litecoin was even cheaper. I remember Binance launching, and it was like $4, I think, or like $9, something like that. Yeah, I've seen some stuff, man. Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
I had like 300,000 Tron. I think so, somewhere around there. 300,000 or 3 million Tron. I can't remember. And I had it at like 0.008009. Now it's like 11 cent, somewhere around there. Like, it's
Did you ever sell, or
insane.
is there a
I
forever
sold a
band?
good chunk. Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember I held that till like 3 cent, and I was like, I'm out.
Yeah. So what actually attracted you to crypto in the first place? You said you started in the stock market. Was it just because there were these new projects being launched and crazy numbers were going on, or was it the actual underlying technology of kind of everything being decentralized?
So, great question. Now, there is a app on your phone. It all started whenever I was at work, and one of my buddies, I'm still with him. I still have conversations with him every single day. He was the one that mentioned, yo, we gotta make money. Screw this job. Everybody has that little phase, right?
Yeah.
He's like, screw this 9 to 5, man. We need to make money, bro. Let's get into the stock market. All right, bet. So we started August of 2015. We were doing the penny stocks. Everybody starts there. Penny
Yeah.
stock. And and we started losing a lot of money. And then we downloaded this one app called StockTwits. I don't know if you know about it. It's literally Twitter, but just only about stocks. And now they added crypto, because of course it took over. It's literally Twitter, but for stocks. And we downloaded it. We were on there, and of course, Bitcoin started trending. And he was like, yo, what's Bitcoin? Let's look into it. Let's make money. And that's
Yeah.
where he pointed out Bitcoin. And I was like, okay, that's cool. Let's look into it more. So that's where everything kicked off a little bit, knowing more about crypto, Bitcoin, Ethereum. And then Ripple took over. I saw Ripple at like 0.006, I think it was. I can't remember how cheap it was. It was dirt cheap, bro. So
And
freaking cheap.
you must have seen that first crazy run it had.
Yes, I saw all of that. And then I also witnessed, me and my buddy, everything that I went through, my buddy went through as well. Like, I would make a mistake, he would make it, I would learn from it, so on and so forth. That's how we exchange knowledge. And I remember back then it wasn't Polygon, it was MATIC, I think, whenever they did the whole changeover on the name. And at that time it was the price was like 0.003. I remember that. The price of the token. Yeah. Yeah. So cheap tokens. Definitely. Of course. Missed out on a lot of opportunities, but it's all good.
So at the beginning, were you doing kind of trades, or were you just buying and holding?
I was just
Or
buying and holding. Yeah. Not really into trading, experienced trading. Till literally 2020-ish, whenever I sat my ass down and I was like, I need to learn as much as I can on this.
Yeah. I think that's kind of the healthy progression that I think a lot of people see. The same with me. I got into like stocks and stuff from my brother, and then it just progresses into crypto. And you start off with like Bitcoin, and then you start finding the smaller, riskier plays.
Yep.
And then it just kind of spirals from there. Yeah, I mean, that is crazy that you're actually in 2015. That means you must have seen the highs and
Everything.
lows of everything. Yeah.
Everything. Every single FUD, every single pump since
Yeah.
then.
What are
Yep.
the main lessons that you learned throughout that you would share with people? Just like the fundamental stuff.
Great question again. Damn, my boy, you on fire. You haven't jot them down or something? See, okay. The number one thing I want to tell, especially the newcomers, and even if you've been here for a hot minute, and I still do it, I do it right now, and I try to tell others and send out tweets and tell it on YouTube, all that. If you get into a token, don't sell the whole bag. If you sell, try to at least keep a minimum of 20% and let that token just ride out. Let that thing go. If it drops, if it dumps, don't worry about it. It was free money. Because if that token goes from 1 cent, matter of fact, I'm going to use Lotus as an example. I got in, I alerted my private members and Twitter and all that stuff. I let them know. I was like, look, we're going to get into this. I tried to get in at like 3.5, 4.5 cents. Some of my members did get in that cheap, but my transaction failed. I had to go into my other wallet. I had an extra bit of Ethereum on there. I got in at 9 cents. And then I rode it to 20 cents. I sold like 70% of my portfolio of my position of Lotus at 20 cents. And I was like, I'm happy with that. I took out my initial investment. I'm playing just monopoly money now. So whatever happens, happens. And I rode another small percentage to around 25, 28 cents, give or take, somewhere around there. And then I let 5% just ride out. And I'm glad I did because that thing went to $1, bro. I was like, oh my goodness. I was like, that is insane. If I would have kept my bag, I would have probably dumped the price so hard.
So yeah. I mean, yeah, just with Lotus, it's been crazy. But that's such a good point because I feel like the main thing that people struggle with is the emotional connection. Like you see the numbers go up and down. And if you sell everything, you're going to be like, oh man, I'm missing out. And then you have that FOMO and then you're more tempted to get back in at a higher price. And then there's way more risk because you're playing with way more funds in it. The opportunity for it to just crash is way higher. So I really like that approach. Is there any time though that you exit the market fully?
It really just depends on it. If the token's already been out a while, you know, enough for technical analysis, I can tell when to take profit, when to sell, when to hold, you know, for a potential bounce, so on and so forth. But for the majority of the time, like if I want to do a quick little scalp and trade, a 2x I'm more than happy with. 2x, I get my initial investment back at least and let the rest of it ride. So that way I don't have to worry about it at all. And it's been working so good like that. You cannot be greedy in this world because you will get screwed over pretty hard.
I think that is one thing that in crypto, especially, everyone struggles with because I mean, last cycle, I got in kind of last cycle just before everything exploded. And I remember all the influencers and everyone was saying, oh, Bitcoin's going to go to 100K. Bitcoin's going to go to 100K. And I remember thinking like at the beginning, I was thinking, I'm going to sell November, December. That's how I wrote that down everywhere. But after watching videos, I got influenced by all the content I was consuming and I didn't sell. And then I just rode the portfolio down. So I think it's such a good point. You have to, make sure that you stick to your plan that you enter at. If it's a 2x and it still rides higher, you can still have that 20% that rides up and you can still benefit from the profit. But a 2x is a 2x.
Yeah. Like, if you do that multiple times with all these protocols coming along, your portfolio is going to skyrocket for sure.
Yeah. So what do you see for Lotus at the moment? Do you see?
It's so mind-blowing about Lotus, man. Like you would expect it to drop right by now.
Yeah. I mean, I think the market cap alone is absolutely huge. Basically 27 million, but it went up to the 30s, I think. Into the 30 millions for a while.
But I think what's helping Lotus out big time is that the moment it launched, I think I saw a tweet. I need to start doing this more often. I want to give credit to everybody that I see on Twitter, and I try my best to.
Yeah.
But I remember seeing a tweet of a specific person I follow, where they said that on the day of minting, 90%, I think, or some percentage, big percentage amount, everybody did 180 mints for the miner length.
I can show you. Yeah. So I've got the data actually for that.
Yes, please do.
Let's have a look. So Lotus, literally they're all, let's see if we can find it. So this chart here, is miner length. Look, it's all 180.
Everybody did that 180. Very few did day 170 to 179, front running the day 180 dump that may or may not happen.
Yeah.
But not that many did short to medium term miners. I think that's what's making the price of it going up, and it's staying. What is the buy and burn? pool right now. I think I think I saw somebody on Twitter say it was bigger than Dragon X's buy and burn.
It's in the millions. Well, I'll put it up as well, actually. Because I mean, its launch was absolutely insane. I think.
Yes, I did not expect it to.
I did not expect it.
Nobody did.
Yeah, almost 3 million in the buy and burn balance.
Then I thought
Titanx as well
was insane.
Yeah, I know. Where do you think this adoption came from? Just because of the hype around Volt?
The users, of course.
Yeah. But like for this level of adoption in a
this level is mind blowing, bro.
Yeah. I mean, for me, the way I'm looking at it is obviously we do have a lot of miners coming out in the short term. So as these
buy and
come
burn
out,
is going to take care of it, though.
The buy and burn is going to take care of it, but they're going to be in huge amounts of profit. So I think they're all going to be wanting to dump. But as long as we get past that initial kind of huge inflow of supply, there's literally nothing until day 180. So
it's going to get really expensive to mine it too. And the deflation, the way the tokenomics and the way Lotus did it is perfect. Like it's so crazy good that it's going to get really expensive. So it benefits the token overall.
Would you say the best virtual mining protocol, like tokenomics wise, that you've seen?
Yes, I'll say that.
Yeah, just because of its scarcity increase.
Yep.
Yeah.
Whenever I saw that tokenomics explanation and the white paper and all that, I was like, dang, yeah, that's going to be good. And I'm glad I traded it too, because now I did $2,500 worth of just free miners. So now it's just play money. Like I think it says I'm going to be getting like $500,000 or something like that back, which is just no way possible.
Yeah.
One would only hope.
Do you remember, did you start miners at the beginning of Titanx? When you got in day 4?
Yeah, I got into day 4. I did 30 days, and then I did majority of them were 280s.
Those 30 days must have paid off.
Yeah, that I didn't do it a lot. I think I only had like 4 of them, something like that.
I did 1 30 day, and that was the best miner.
Really?
That was the best.
How much
miner.
You get?
It was like a 500% return in the 30. Yeah, but if you were before as well, because you got the crazy T rank.
Yeah,
from as well, because that was insane at the beginning. But yeah, I do remember seeing the ROI, and it was like I put in like I don't know 2K or something, and it was like 200,000 payout. And I think that's why some people got in expecting those numbers.
Yeah,
and that's why there was like FUD around it, because obviously it's not realistic for that many people. But I think now people understand, like you were saying for Lotus, like it's really high at the moment, but people understand that that's not going to be there for the long term, basically. Are there any other projects that you're kind of looking at the moment that you're excited about?
Definitely Matrix. I'm waiting for Boss Man to be able to launch it, yo. Mike Dean's project.
Yeah.
That Matrix one, because it's going to be under Hyper, and it's going to benefit Hyper because Hyper alone is still at 200% ROI.
Which is insane on its own with nothing built on top of it.
I know, right? And I imagine with Matrix on there, that's really the one I'm being patient with. But of course, Volt, Wheel, Viper, all of them. Hey, why not Phoenix? I'm going to go ahead and add Phoenix on there.
Have you had a chance to read over the white paper?
No, bro. You want to go ahead and look at it?
I mean, I'll quickly just give you a quick pitch. It's basically going to be a Volt Dragon X hybrid. So it's going to have 3 different ownership in 3 different staking protocols. It's going to have a stake in Titanx, a stake in Blaze, a stake in Flux. And the rewards we receive from those stakes are going to be split between maintaining the stakes and fueling the Phoenix buy and burn. So there's going to be 3 different staking payouts, all fueling the buy and burn. And then when Phoenix is brought, half of the token through the buy and burn, half of them are burnt, and the other half are sent to an auction balance, similar to Volt. So we're buying up our own tokens from the LP to be sent to an auction balance. After the mint phase, which is 28 days, we're going to start auctioning off 2.5% of that balance in return for Titanx.
Oh, okay. I got you.
So it's kind of like,
days. Okay.
Yeah, 28-day mint phase, and then it's completely capped and deflationary after that. So I'm excited. I mean, yeah, it's exciting to be a builder. It's obviously nerve-wracking.
Nervous, yes. Headache. You gotta.
Do you have any plans for? Because you've got the perfect platform, you've got the audience. I mean, if you have a good idea, you could always start because the infrastructure's there. So have you thought about maybe building?
Maybe.
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 What angles would you look at? Would you look at protocols like Hyper that have like the first mover advantage where you can get there and be
If
first?
I
Or...
was to do a project, I feel like I want to do a dividend payout of some sort.
Okay. Yeah. So kind of into the staking side of things. Is that where you've preferred so far out of all the tokenomics you've seen?
Yeah, I feel
in
like
Titanx?
I feel like majority of people just want to be able to have some sort of revenue. You know, that being able to like Titanx, you know, you're claiming your miners, it's revenue. Being able to come here and start having some sort of revenue payout wise. Like yeah, miners and tokens and all that, but I'm talking about like ETH payouts or you know, dividend payouts of some sort. I feel like that would be good.
Yeah. I mean, do it. I think 100%. There's literally places out. I worked with a company called Decentra, and there's also
I've seen
Accelerate.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's also Accelerate. There's loads of places out there. If you've got the idea, you can just reach out. And I think you're in the perfect position because you've got the audience. So if you have a good
Small, just a
idea,
little bit.
yeah, so you've got that launch pad. So if you come up with a good idea, because I think there are so many builders springing up. It's really interesting to see. It's been an explosion, and I think for good reason, because this is actually a question I was going to ask. Is I think all the builders are seeing where Titanx is going in the future. Where do you kind of see it in the long term? So in a year, maybe next cycle and the cycle after.
Man, next year alone, of course, we're going to be seeing, I want to say, pushing 50 plus protocols. But in the long run, I feel like, of course, is going to be, I want to say between top 25 and top 50 on coin market cap, in that range. A lot of people will be eyeing us for sure.
Do you think Titanx will have that spot, or do you think it will be a Titanx project?
Ooh, that's a good question. To be honest with you, I don't know. That's a tough question to be, because we've seen the potential of these protocols. It could be probably neck and neck, like Titanx and Volt, Titanx and DragonX. They could probably be in that 2-3 spots away from each other.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we saw it with Volt. I think Volt absolutely exploded, and it brought in a lot of users from outside of the ecosystem, which has been like amazing to see. And I think, yeah, any builders that are launching, I think should be listed on CoinMarketCap.
Because
Using
Volt
that
was the first one that was on CoinMarketCap.
coin, I think both they listed on both
The first one,
pretty.
right? And that's where it saw its pretty good hype and price increase whenever they got listed there.
Yeah, because it is a discussion how to bring new users into Titanx. Because obviously we want everything's here. We've got the infrastructure. It's just letting enough people see. But like Jake says, one of the best marketing tools is green candles. And as these projects are just absolutely exploding, like we've seen for Volt, it brings a whole new kind of user base in, which is really interesting. What are some other ways you think are good to kind of reach out to, like, get new people into Titanx?
Man, you know how strong TikTok is with its algorithm and all that. TikTok is
Yeah.
a big marketing spec, but it's really hard to create any sort of content whenever it comes to like financial advice and crypto alone. Like they flag their videos pretty harsh and quick too. So it's going to be a really hard social media to be able to get it out there. All we need is like one massive video to go viral. That would help out a lot whenever it comes to boosting Titanx in general. But if you know we can't get TikTok at all, of course other platforms would help.
Yeah, I agree. And even how people reached out to you, they just came into your comments
Yeah,
and
just
just started
flooded
spamming.
they took
Yeah.
over my channel pretty much.
I think doing that with influencers could be a good idea as well. Like, because
Eventually they can't ignore it, because I couldn't ignore it at all.
was it literally just green circles? Everyone
Yes, it's just
in? Yeah.
everywhere. And then
Yeah.
like my DMs too, just green circles, green circles. I'm like, all right, what the heck is this?
So yeah, so on to Titanx. What do you kind of see as the best strategy that you're following at the moment? Do you kind of have your bags that you're just holding, or are you kind of more just swing trading and taking opportunities as they come.
Really important thing to do for Titanx is always have liquid Titanx. It's always good to have a really good diversified portfolio. One, having stakes, right? I think I did make videos on this, saying a lot of people are thinking for right now, the time of day is November. Well, technically October. But they're thinking short to medium term from now until give or take. I think majority of the people are looking between April and June. And that's really the eyeballs that everybody is focusing on. Think outside the box. I'm pushing towards more 900 days from now, 600 days from now. Between that 500 to 900 day range is where I'm telling people to really have stakes far out to claim that time period, just in case something happens, just so that way you can be ready. Yes, it can be $10 USD value today, but that 10 million tokens could be required to have 1 ETH to be able to mine on the miner, right? Or it could cost 0.5 Ethereum. It's going to be hefty. It's going to cost, especially if Ethereum goes up. You got to be ready for stuff like that. Diversifying is the main aspect of crypto in general. But for Titanx, since all these projects are coming along, what I've been doing and what I've been telling YouTube and members and everything to do is if you get into a token and at launch, and let's say you trade it and you make a 2x, put your 2x, your initial investment aside, that play money, start miners, buy the token, stake it. It's free play money. Set it aside if you want to for just liquid in case you want to sell it whenever you want to. Just have it there for free, play it out, and just see what happens. It's going to be very important because if there's 50 projects, and trust me, it probably happened to you because I know for a fact it happened to me a lot during the crypto. You would get a list of 20 altcoins. You would be like, okay, let me buy 5 of them. That 15 tokens that you did not buy are the 15 that will pump. The 5 that you buy are the ones that dump.
Yeah. You check back later and you're like, oh, I wonder what's happened to this token that I didn't buy. And it's just, up to the right.
Yep. There can be 20 tokens. You buy 19. The one you don't buy ends up doing 100x.
Yeah.
It hurts. I've been there so many freaking times and it gets me so mad. So always diversify as many tokens as you can.
Yeah. And I think you bring up a really good point there as well. It's like, there are all these projects out at the moment, and it could be really easy to think, okay, DragonX, Vault, these are the best, biggest plays that there will ever be. But like you said, there are new projects coming out all the time. And if you don't have that dry powder to get in early, then you could miss out on a huge opportunity. So yeah, it's kind of tempting to go all in on something, but it's always better to have, some change left over, be smart. Obviously, there's so many projects coming out, and there easily could be one like Shogun that comes out and just absolutely blows up. I don't know if you watched, you probably didn't, but there was a stream yesterday and Jake was running through what Shogun is.
Oh, no, I didn't. I was busy as heck yesterday. As you saw my tweet, probably I took profit from Lotus and I went shopping.
Fair enough. Yeah, so
busy. Let's go.
So he was, and didn't you go for like a nice dinner as well?
It was a nice dinner, man. I got dinner. We bought furniture. We bought some new stuff for the upcoming baby. We got so much stuff, man. That's great. Awesome. So shout out to Lotus, man.
That is awesome. Yeah. So when Jake was going through Shogun, he was basically saying it's going to be a Vault E280 kind of hybrid. So it's going to have a liquidity web with all projects on Titanx, and then it's going to have a tax there as well, and similar to E280. And then it's also going to have perpetual auctions similar to Vault. So it's going to be deflationary, but it's going to buy back its own supply. So it's going to be this like crazy play on top of everything. And that could easily be one of the biggest projects launched. I mean, especially with Jake, just because it's got Jake's name behind it. Yeah. So I think if you don't have some Titanx in the background coming out in stakes, you're shooting yourself in the foot. Because
that's the one about you burning your stakes, right?
X28.
X28. My bad. Yeah. Shogun. Okay.
And X28 is done. It is completely done.
Really?
Yeah. So he's done the first audit, and I think he said he's going into the second audit. But obviously, going like everywhere, you want to have the user base to do it. So
Yeah.
I'm just speculating, but I think he'll just wait for enough users. That makes the most sense, because there's no point of doing that now if there's not enough builders, enough infrastructure, enough users to spread kind of across all of crypto.
Yeah.
So I mean, but that's going to be crazy. He's got that in his back pocket as well. I mean, since you've been in since 2015, have you ever seen kind of an ecosystem like this that is?
Hell no. I'm sorry if I cussed. I don't know. Sorry.
It's fine.
Like, I rarely ever cuss because I try to keep it, one, professional, and two, because YouTube sometimes just be crazy all over the cuss words and stuff like that. Like, the ad revenue goes down.
Yeah.
But like, heck no, man. Like, I have never seen something like this before. Like, if I have, like, I've either not known for it at all, or either I forgot about it and discovered it way after it's already pumped 1000x, and I'm just like, whatever, screw this. But no, not that I can think of, nothing.
Yeah. It feels, I don't know, I just feel in a very unique position that we're here
Feels
this
good
early.
being this early, man, because other times you find something that already goes up 1000. Like,
yeah.
where was this at? Comes out of nowhere.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to ask you, maybe, what was it like? Obviously, there was that downtime in Titanx. What was it like for you? Did you lose faith, or were you always in the background thinking?
I didn't really lose faith wise. I'm the type of person where it's like, I need content. Like, I need video. I need to be able to talk about something and explain, like, yo, this is about to break out. This is about to do this trend. You know, it's a great strategy to do this on a platform, on a protocol, upcoming project. You know, a lot of stuff needs to be in the upcoming future, coming wise and stuff like that, for me to be able to prep videos and think about what I'm going to talk about, you know, so on and so forth. And that quiet zone of Titanx, there was nothing. Like, there was no protocols. There was none of that being built. So I couldn't talk about anything really. And I was like, dang, I'm going to have to go ghost a little bit. And I talked about Zen for a little bit. And then eventually it was like, I started doing like airdrop videos, because it was literally just dead zone all around. I'm like, oh my goodness, what the heck do I do? And it was just frustrating for quite a bit. But things started thankfully started kicking up steam. And I started taking more and more videos, longer videos too, because recently I've been doing like 15-minute videos. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah. But now it's like the complete polar opposite. There's so much content. There's so much stuff to
now I need to find time to be able to make all these videos, man. Golly.
Like, yeah, it went through that really quiet period, and now it's just absolutely blown up. And I don't see it really stopping. I asked Jake, I said, what do you think is the biggest black swan for Titanx? And it was like, it's literally just interest. Like, if people lose interest, they're going to leave. But we have all the builders that are staying, building more. Blaze team have just expanded, keep building.
Blaze team did great, man. Like, during that silent zone time period, like, they still continued doing their weekly streams, their weekly talks and stuff like that. So shout out to them.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't see a point where people would lose interest now, because even in the bear market, there are going to be people that are building. Lots of builders have said they're looking forward to the bear market, because they can just kind of have some peace and quiet, think about some really unique ideas to get shipped out for the next cycle. So I don't see Titanx going away. And like we were just saying, we are incredibly early.
What's your farthest stake that you got?
Coming out in about 140. I mean, it comes out around March, I think.
So you don't got any like 500, 900 days?
No, I don't have any super.
Dang.
No, I know. I mean, I can't wait to see what that one's going to come out. The thing is, that came out. So in June, I had a lot of miners that came out, and I just staked it straight away. And then I went to bed, and I woke up in the middle of the night thinking, why did I not buy Dragon X? And this is when it was like a 1-to-1 ratio. But that was kind of my entry back into Titanx, because I realized what was there, and I just started getting really interested, buying more Dragon X. So it was kind of a blessing. And now, yeah, that has just grown. But definitely for the 900-day ones, I might just start like a few just on the side, do some max term, and just see.
It's so much fun, bro. Like, doing it is like, why am I doing this? Is this even worth it? But in the back of my head, I'm like, yo, what if 900 days from now, you know, this $50, that's what I usually stick with, like $50, 25, 100, you know, whenever it comes to that far out, because I'm covered from October 17th, was my staking pay claim started, October 17th. I have every 2 days, every 4 days, 5 days, weeklies, and monthlies. As confusing as that sounds, bear with me. It's because every 2 days is a certain amount, and then every 4 days is another certain amount, and so on and so forth. So my monthlies are my biggest ones that USD value wise. So every month, and then we'll be claiming like $1,000, something like that, worth of Titanx.
Yeah.
So I started doing that, and I'm covered until 2027, give or take, the end of 2027. And then it's like scattered, like $25, like, every now and then, all the way up to day 900. I'm still trying to cover day 900 to day 1000.
Yeah.
I do have
that's a unique strategy. That is
yes,
actually
it's very unique. I know.
Yeah.
It's a little confusing. That's why I kind of have to explain it.
Yeah, but let's say maybe in 900 days they're like somewhat profitable, not crazy, but then 100 days later, 100 days up, you're covering yourself for all scenarios, for everything,
any outcome. That
any
way,
outcome. Yeah,
because a lot of people are like, dang, what if I sell too early? What if I sell too late? What if I sell, not enough tokens or so whatever, right? I'll have something to do. I'll have something to claim. If a pump happens, if a 100x pump happens in the year 2026, I'm good. I'll have something to claim. Like $50 would be what, 5,000 or something like that.
Yeah.
If it does 1,000x, $50 is 50 grand.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things with Titanx that is crazy to think about, because it's not linear where the market cap is directly related to its circulating supply, because the circulating supply is constantly growing and shrinking, growing and shrinking.
Correct.
Obviously, to grow it, it costs exponentially more. So it's so difficult to predict the X's that Titanx could do, because if we burn 90% of the supply, that 10% we could absolutely send it so high. It's really difficult. Have you thought about where Titanx could be, or is it just one of those things? It's like it's out of
it's so empty in the abyss, man. Who knows? But I'm gonna be ready though. I'll be ready for whatever scenario it'll take. Like looking at the liquid supply, to be honest with you, I was expecting that liquid supply to be pushing like 45 trillion ish, because you know how everybody got their stakes by this time period, day 369 and forward. I was expecting more Titanx to be liquid, but we're barely over 40 trillion right now at the time of recording this live stream. And it's looking like it's going to stay around this 40. We pushed 39 yesterday. More projects are on the way to be able to eat up all the stakes that are going to be coming out. Like, it's looking very healthy and sustainable overall in the long term.
Yeah, 100%. And if I just pull up these stats, I think if we go into Vault,
it's like, I think 22 trillion, I think.
22 trillion Titanx is being used. Obviously, like some of that comes back onto the market and everything, but with 11, I think it's 11 pillars coming out, I think. So we have Viper first on November 8th, and then a week later, we have all the other pillars. I mean, it's going to be insane to see what happens then.
Like I said, during the live stream that we had, the big event, if there's already 20 upcoming projects. If each one does a minimum of 1 trillion, which is pretty doable, 1 trillion each, that alone will take care of majority of everything.
Yeah. Shout out Morpheus. They're in. I think they've just had I think they've gone over 1.7 trillion. And they've only been out for a few days, which is insane. And you bring up such a good point. Yeah. And yeah, so this is the number 4 Hydra of how much Titanx has gone into Hydra. Obviously, with Jake's projects, they're going to be bigger. And he has X28 and Shogun in his back pocket.
That alone can each of them could do easily 5 to 10 trill.
Minimum. I'm saying minimum.
Minimum.
Yeah. And that's not even putting on all the pillars, all the other projects that, like you say, if they just do 1 trillion, then it's going to be absolutely off to the races. Like, I am so bullish on Titanx. It's unhealthy. My obsession with
it's unhealthy. I agree.
It's becoming unhealthy. I mean, the thing is, when you speak with people in IRL about crypto all the time, and it's almost like they hear it so much, they're like, okay, yeah, we get it, whatever.
Very few people understand it too. Like, 1 in every 100, I want to say, that you run into people or friends that you can actually deep dive and talk about smart contracts, claim, approving the contract alone. People are like, huh? You know,
Yeah.
I'm just like, dang, man.
Yeah. I think that is difficult to get like new users. Like for me, it's so good. Like I love these streams because I speak to people like yourself that understand kind of what's going on, and we both share the same kind of vision of what's going to happen. But when you're trying to get people in and interested, you have to explain so many different layers. Like I was just trying to tell my dad about Titanx and everything, and he just looked lost. He looked
Yeah,
so lost because it is like confusing, but it's one of those things that if you wrap your head around it, it could be, I mean, literally life changing.
definitely. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. I remember telling some majority of my buddies too. I was like, look, I was like, I'm trying to put this into dummy words, but this token, Titanx, is about to cross on the weekly. If it does, you'll make money. And they're like, man, I don't know. I don't trust any of that, this and
Yeah.
that. And I think the token price was so cheap, man. And then it exploded. And I shoved it in their face. I was like, look, man, if you would have listened, you would have been straight. You would have had like at least a 4 to 7x from that cross. And they were like, man, I know, but it's always that but. And it's like, but I didn't have money at that time, and this and that. And I was like, okay, you could have put $50, man. $50 would have been something.
Yeah. I just don't understand how, yeah, there are people that just see the numbers, they see what's going on, and they just aren't interested. They just want to hold their money in fiat and slowly lose their buying power over inflation just being absolutely insane. Like, why would you not want to protect your wealth, protect your value, and get into crypto? It's just, yeah, a no-brainer. I would like to ask, where do you see the future of, outside of Titanx, of crypto going? Obviously, we're seeing more adoption all over the world. We could get the first pro Bitcoin president in the US.
Yeah,
Where do you kind of
I hope
see?
so. He said he's gonna buy Bitcoin every day for a certain amount of time period, like millions of dollars worth every day. So that'd be really interesting to see.
Yeah.
But matter of fact, I'm gonna start off by saying I called this bull run too. Back in 2021, I was doing Twitch live streaming because I had a contract with this crypto platform. I had a contract with them. I would live stream, and I remember making YouTube videos around that 2021 time, and I was like, look, the bull run is going to happen the end of 2024. There's videos out there. Look them up. People are
Yeah.
going to think I'm lying.
You gotta
No,
go find them.
it's video proof. I literally called this. I
Yeah.
was like, look, the bull run is going to happen the end of 2024, beginning of 2025. And they were like, man, that's so far away. I don't have time for that. Look how fast they got here, boy. Like, what?
Yeah.
Are you
Yeah.
done? And like Bitcoin
Yeah.
went down to 13K, I think it was, because of that Celsius scam that happened and all that stuff. It dropped down to, I called Bitcoin was going to go to 11.2. It didn't go there. It went as low as 13 some chain, 13.4, I think it was, and it bounced. So I was like, that was the bottom.
Yeah. I think
100%, that was the bottom.
I remember everyone waiting for 12,000 Bitcoin.
Yes, everybody. I should have known that was not going to reach. Whenever you saw 90% of the public say it was going to reach 12, I should have known. But I was so cocky. I was like 11.2. I know what I'm saying. Trust me. But I was 2K off. That's all right.
Yeah, exactly. And now look at it. It's come so quickly. Even with the 369 payout, that felt like it was so far away. And now we've just passed it that quickly.
And let me also mention, like, the one thing I can 100% say is that I have never seen a crypto like Titanx in the perfection of timing that it does. I don't understand it. It defies all fucking logic, and it defies everything. The way Titanx is doing it, like, I keep thinking, and I go through what it went through, right? Ethereum dropped in value. It went from 4K or whatever all the way down to $22,000. But Titanx held its ground, and it actually started going up instead. So Ethereum went down, Titanx stayed. Well, it went up higher. Then day 280 came, it did the opposite.
That was insane.
Like, what in the world is going on?
Yeah.
And the patterns it's doing with because I'm really deep into technical analysis. The way it's working out, it's so perfect. I don't believe it. I don't trust it. It's like, this has to be this. No way this played out exactly how it needs to be to correlate with the time of the 1334 crossing. And it does. I don't get it. It's crazy.
You know, the thing is, I think Jake was quite into technical analysis back in his mastermind. Like, I'm pretty sure he used to give out things here and there, and like he was really into it. So I think that probably played a role, especially with his launch in October. I remember him saying this is like the start of the bull run. It was when we had that first big spike, and then we kind of stabilized. But Titanx, obviously came down, and now it's kind of, we're entering hyperdeflation, and it feels like everything is, like you were saying, start of 2025, everything's going to get kind of booted up again and started. It is perfect timing.
It's day 369. I think it was the day of day 369. The buy and burn V2 ran out, right? Something like that. It's pretty much gone. The buy and burn, it's gone now. So V1 is up next, and the technical analysis is telling me we may see downtrend. But now we have the version 1 where it's perfect timing to where it can help that. Like, how does that work?
It's really weird, isn't it? Yeah.
Yes. Like, I don't know, man. This I love it, but hate it at the same time, because, like, man.
Yeah. I'm just gonna reply to Crypto Utah. How do you feel about this? Do you think when you just sometimes try to communicate to older people, it's difficult to get them locked into crypto? Yeah. It's always you can't see it. It doesn't make sense. Like, my granddad's very into gold, and he was like, it's really difficult to communicate to him about Bitcoin. Like, I do the best I can, and he's like, yeah, but I can't touch it. I can't. It is definitely. But I think that's the thing. Like, for people to understand, you have to have a different way of thinking, and that's why, younger people are moving to crypto and probably adopting it much more than the older generations.
I gave up. I ain't gonna lie. After like the second or third old person that I tried, older person from my age, I was like, look, man, you ain't gonna understand what I'm saying. So deuces, you're gonna miss out.
But that's what I think is crazy. Like, when you see in the mainstream media, they're talking about Bitcoin, they're calling it a scam, but they don't even understand it. I guarantee they haven't even put the hours in to fully understand what's going on and the technology behind it. They're just saying, they just have the bullet points of, like, most of the mining is happening in China, or you can't touch it. You can't, you know what I mean? It's just those things that people don't understand. But it's so good that if Trump does I feel like he'll do a lot to educate everyone, hopefully.
But have you seen that? Well, I haven't seen it in a long time, but there's this viral picture of Bitcoin. It was the news articles. I think it's CNN or CNBC, somebody. There was 4 different pictures of a news article stamped beside each other. The first one saying Bitcoin dumped from $200 to $40 or something like that. Then in the next cycle, the same news article said Bitcoin dumped $2,000 down to $400 or something like that, right?
Yeah.
The next one was in 2017, 2018. Bitcoin went from almost $20,000 down to like $3,000, and it dumped, right? The 200, 2,000, 20,000. The next cycle is going to be 200,000. So expect a news article saying, the Bitcoin went from 200,000 and it dumped to 40,000. That's my prediction. We don't know how good I am at prediction. Just saying.
I mean, that would be insane. But I just can't, like you said, these cycles keep happening and people are just choosing to ignore it. And they're only broadcasting the volatility of the 80% crash, but they're not talking about the 300% gain that has before. It doesn't make any sense. I mean, I think it's the future. I think Bitcoin is literally, for me, and my understanding of everything so far, is Bitcoin's the exit strategy. Like, you play with altcoins, but having Bitcoin for the long term is like, that's wealth forever. There's only 21 million, never going to be more. Having and holding that is like, where you should have your wealth, basically, in my opinion.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's why if you find ecosystems like Titanx and you can beat the performance of Bitcoin, I mean, that's just insane. That's what you should be looking for. 100%. Yeah. I mean, so moving on to maybe your trading skills and how you got into it. What are some messages for people watching? What's the best way to learn and to get into kind of all the technical analysis stuff?
Use your resources, man. Like, there are courses out there. I don't see why people would want to, but there are courses in which you can pay somebody, I guess, but there's free content out there. Use your resources like YouTube, Google. There's also nowadays paper trading, which you can download an app on your phone. Paper trading is just fake money that you can use, like for the stock market or in general. I know there's a paper trading for stocks itself that provide you with fake money, and use and research technical analysis patterns. You can use my strategy if you want to. I just uploaded a video explaining technical analysis and what I do and how it works. So that way it can work for, if they find that, fine, good. You know, if it works for them, they can adjust it how they please. It's not perfect, but it's good enough to where I can make some money and help others make money, right?
Yeah.
And just put in, once you start playing with your real funds, your bank account money, of course, put in where you can afford to lose. Second is play with like $10, $20, $50. Everybody's financial status is different, of course. And if you find a pattern that you're like, yo, I've seen this exact play, it's going to go up. Put in $20, get your feet wet, see what it does. If it makes you $5, get out. Don't expect $2,000 then and there, you know. And once you start seeing little patterns, rinse and repeat, start playing them and make sure you start cashing out money as you go as well. Every now and then you will probably lose 20%, right? Or $20. And there's that saying where it's how does that saying go? It's like 90% of traders lose 90% of their funds in the first 90 days. It's true. It's true as heck, because it hurts. Trust me. I've been there, done that. Yeah, but eventually you'll start getting a headache and start getting just mad of you losing a certain amount of money, where you're like, you know what, $5 is good enough. $5 here, $5 there, $5 there. You'll 2x your money after a few trades.
Yeah. I think it is one of those, I see it as almost a new language. You have to read all these different things that go on the charts. And I think I know the basics, but when I watch, your videos or the Versus videos, and you guys go into real in depth on some really, it's like you guys are speaking a different language, but it makes sense. It makes sense the way you guys are like pointing out what's going on. Is there anywhere in Titanx at the moment that you're kind of looking at, any patterns that are forming? Or
yes.
Do you want to kind of run us through some of those?
Sure. Right now I'm looking at the 1334 about to cross bearish. I just made my video yesterday, actually, talking about this scenario. My prediction is as follows. I sound so professional whenever I said that. I'm so proud. Do you think I can share my screen with you?
Yeah, you can go for it. Do I need to?
Let's see. Share screen. That should be under my end. Yeah, there we go.
There you go.
Okay, so you guys are seeing my screen, my TA right now. These 1334s are about to cross. If they do, this will be a bearish cross on the daily. Very important on the daily. We touched my yellow line, which is the heavy resistance. We could not break through. I was off by microns, barely anything, but we did get rejected. We went down perfect to my yellow support level. We bounced right there. I mean, technically, if you wanted to, you could have sold your bag over here, my resistance level, and waited till my next level and bought it back and gotten a good percentage bigger in Titanx. But the market ain't perfect. You can't always play it out that way, right? Let's just say you would have. But if these two cross, it will form a bearish cross. We haven't had a bearish cross since November 2nd, I think, if I remember correctly. These two were fake outs, one here and another one right here. It literally took 2 to 3 days, candlesticks wise, for this to get back to the bullish side and head higher. Like here, bearish, but we headed higher once we crossed bullish. We went higher. Here, same thing. We crossed bearish. We were just about to drop down, but we formed another bullish pattern and we went higher. I think this is my play out right here. I think we're going to form a bearish pattern, head back down to the support level of around 9 or 1, somewhere around there. Retest the support. That's probably where the V1 version 1 Titanx is going to trigger, or Jake is going to announce some major launch day or some sort of catalyst. And this 1334 is going to form that same pattern that we saw here and here down below, in which it'll take 2 to 3 days, and that will cause us to go higher and probably break through this resistance and start seeing new local highs.
Damn. Okay, so you think the most likely scenario is we go a bit lower now, touch that bottom yellow line, maybe just one wick, right?
From the previous somewhere around here. Yes.
Yeah. And what time frame do you think that'd be? Kind of early to mid-November?
Give or take the 2 weeks is what I was estimating. So
yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Mid-November-ish.
Like you say, you were looking for a catalyst. I mean, there are loads of projects. All the pillars are coming out then, so that could be a perfect opportunity.
One of them will be the catalyst. There's going to be one to stand out that will cause this to do this pattern. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I don't care. That's what a prediction is, right?
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens.
I think that's one of the most difficult things I find with technical analysis is trying to add in all the outside factors.
Yeah, there's a lot of factors.
Yeah, all the stuff. It's not just like a chart that you have to consider everything that's going on outside the ecosystem that isn't shown on the chart, which I think, is really difficult. But this is really interesting. If we do break that top yellow line, where do you think would be? Is it just price discovery then? It's kind of
it's a 5 zeros and a 4. I already showed it to my private members.
5 zeros and a 4.
Yes, so about a 3 to 4x from what we're at right now.
Damn.
There's barely any resistance level after this yellow line.
Yeah. So okay, what is that yellow? What's the price on that? Is that 7?
That one's 1711.
Okay. I'm gonna get a line and I'm gonna draw that on. If it crosses out, I'm gonna be like, yes. Is there any other projects you're looking at, or are you just kind of looking at Titanx as a whole because everything kind of tracks?
Wow, what are the odds? Wait, in the Titanx ecosystem or in general? Just
I mean, in general, yeah, sure.
Yes. So there was a specific project. I just uploaded a members only YouTube video about it too, literally like minutes before we went live.
Damn, okay, nice.
A special project is about to launch, in which I'm curious about it. I got contacted by him like 2 months ago, a month ago or something like that. I ignored it, but it's starting to get my interest. So I made a video about it.
Yeah. So if people want to find out more, how can they get to that video?
If you want to get to that video and find out more, you can either be subscribed for the members only on YouTube or on X. The same video is on both platforms.
Nice. Damn. Yeah. Cool. I mean, I really like having different people's perspectives on these kind of things of where they're going. And I hope I can do a stream with the Verse soon too, and kind of run through what his thoughts are. But where do you think for Titanx, what are the charts normally? Is there kind of a general theme that we see throughout Titanx, or is it kind of quite merged and messy compared to?
Yeah, it's like messy but organized at the same time. That's like the perfect way to describe it.
Okay. Yeah, merge. Okay, yeah, that's fair enough. I mean, out of all the Titanx projects that are out at the moment, what is your favorite? Can you disclose?
My favorite. I don't want anybody to get butthurt now. not including the core 4, of course.
Yeah.
My favorite one, I want to say Lotus, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, got
just because it got you that nice dinner.
Yeah.
And some nice furniture. Yeah.
Got to.
It has been crazy, and I can't wait to see. Like you were saying, it's very unique in its design, and I don't think we've seen it before, and it can get extremely interesting. I think it's going to be interesting to see what happens on day 180. But I think a good example of what we could see is for Hydra. There's a massive amount of supply coming out day 88.
Yeah, especially that one whale, right?
one whale, they've got about a third of everything that's coming out, 20 to 30%, I think Jake
That's
said.
a major one we got to watch out for.
Yeah. So because obviously we saw what happened on day 280, but I feel like this is quite different because it's such a huge amount of supply. But whatever it plays out, I think could tell us what could be the chances for Lotus as well. But other than that, that's the only thing I'd be scared about for Lotus. Other than that, I mean, like we were talking about, there are no miners really from day about 30 until day 170.
It's gonna be interesting to see where the price can go, man. I'm gonna hold on to my 5%.
Yeah, for sure. Maybe even you got some miners on the way as well, right?
Yep, I got a good handful. I got $2,500 worth of just miners, yeah.
What was your strategy for starting the miners?
I just minded. I just did the batch miners. All of them are 180.
All of them, yeah.
Yeah, okay. I didn't think about doing any. I don't know why I didn't, but I just didn't. I just clicked mine. That's it.
This thing is, it's so unpredictable because I thought for Titanx, I was like, oh, I'll just front run the day 280.
Yeah,
I pretty much timed the bottom with the miners, which sucks because I thought it just made sense. So I think a lot of the time with this stuff, it's so unpredictable, isn't it? I think it is just as long as you've got your kind of toe in the water and you've kind of got something there, I think that's the best thing that you can kind of do. I mean, man, I think we've been going for an hour. I mean, is there anything else you'd like to quickly cover or talk about for the people watching?
No, I think I'm actually really good right now. We covered for the most part everything.
Yeah. It's been a really good stream. If people are interested, obviously you've got your course with loads of other videos and technical analysis on as well. But obviously you've got all this stuff on your YouTube as well. Right?
Busy everywhere.
Busy everywhere, yeah. I mean, thanks everyone for coming along. I really appreciate it. Is there any final message, CryptoAudiKing, that you'd like to leave?
The only really thing I want to point out is go follow and subscribe to all the guys that are helping Titanx. Not just me, not just, Callum and all that. Everybody. Interact with all their socials. Follow them on Twitter, YouTube, any other platform that they have out there. It helps a lot. Like tagging them, retweeting their stuff. That algorithm kicks in like crazy. Once you click that like button, it helps push out more of that viewership, and the algorithm does a great job doing so.
Yeah, for sure. 100%. Right. Thanks everyone for coming. I appreciate it. See you
later.